Well, my name's Mandy. I live in Derbyshire. It was early March 2012 and my mum had back pain and acid reflux, and it was discovered, we called the paramedics, and it was discovered that she'd had a heart attack and she was suffering from heart failure, and she went into hospital to be treated for the heart failure and for kidneys weren't working properly, so she really was quite poorly. And she was in hospital for about 2 weeks. Towards the end of the second week, she got pneumonia, so I felt that I was getting really quite worried about her at that time. On Monday the 19th of March, we had a phone call early in the morning, about 5:45. I picked up the phone and it was the ward sister from calling on behalf for Mum. And the ward sister said that Mum had had a heart attack and I was to go to hospital straight away. We went up to the ward, we rang the doorbell, and the ward sister opened the ward door and let us in and said, "Sorry for your loss." She was crying. We were led to a side ward, and eventually a female doctor came in, and she said she was ever so sorry. Mum was discovered unresponsive, and they'd applied CPR rigorously for 15 minutes to try and bring them back, including 5 shocks and 3 shots of adrenaline, but they couldn't bring her back. Mum was lying flat on the bed, doing like a rackety breathing, which surprised me. And one of the nurses said, "No, they're not proper breaths, they will pass. It's because of the adrenaline that we've given her to try and bring her back." We waited, but we were really concerned about. Mum didn't look like she was dying. She kept trying to move her head, her shoulders, her body, kick her legs, and she looked really distressed. And this went on for several hours. Well, I think we had to wait about nearly an hour before a doctor eventually did come in to see us. It was a junior doctor. She came in, and I asked for Mum to be reassessed, and she said it would be too invasive. Anyway, eventually another doctor came in, did a blood test which showed that Mum was showing signs of life, and they reversed the morphine and they reversed the muscle relaxant, and that afternoon Mum was sat up, alert in bed, having a cup of tea. So actually I'd been told that my mum had passed away, and she hadn't, and she went on to live another 10 days. I actually had a meeting with the hospital about Mum's nursing care in the hospital, and I attended that with my auntie and my husband. I didn't really feel that meeting went very well at all. The PALS team at hospital asked me if I wanted any independent advice, and they referred me to POhWER, and that's how I heard about them. Initially, when I contacted POhWER, Jerry listened to me on the phone. I remembered he listened to me on the phone for about an hour when I went through the story and everything. And he was really empathic. He just listened, and I felt he was really there for me. The meeting went a lot better than the first meeting. I felt he kept me on track, and he helped me to clarify my questions. The fact that he was actually there in the room made me feel much more empowered, because I felt that I'd got proper support from somebody who was independent but also knew the system, and also when somebody is not emotionally involved, like I think that I'm quite an organised person, and I feel that I could go into meetings and ask questions and make points. However, when it's about something that's so emotional, it's really hard to keep clear and focused, and I felt that having an advocate there was paramount to me getting answers from that meeting. I think I don't know whether I would have ever given up, because I'm not a sort of person to give up, but I don't think I would have got anywhere near where I've got to with having Mum's case reported nationally. I wouldn't have ever been able to do that without POhWER, and that was the main thing for me, so that something like this would never happen again to somebody else.